Hello everyone, I am RexRed and this is Ez3DTv. We are going to talk today about computer hardware, how to take your Daz library and speed it up. You know how when you click on a Genesis 9 figure or any Genesis figure or a scene or an environment or an HDRI, anything that's in your scene, that's in your library, you click on it and you wait and you wait and you wait for it to load into your scene. Well, what we have here, I'm going to tell you why it takes a while to load into your scene and how to speed that up like 4 or 5 times faster. Okay? So I will be right back. We have a, where is our screen splash? I will be back right after our screen splash. Back. Hello, hello. What we have here is an M.2 drive. Now I have to make sure we actually have a keyboard. So this is what an M.2 drive looks like. This is from Amazon. This one is $128. And this one right here is a very good one, okay? This is a Gen 4, which means that it runs on PCI Express Gen 4. That is a very particular important thing. What we're doing is we are juggling a bunch of different terms here, and each one has to be in place in order for you to get the speeds that you are looking for. And so one of them right here is this. One of them is this. Let me see, I've got to click out of here. It's bothering me. Okay. Is that you have to have this, and what this is called an M.2 solid state drive, okay? And this is where you store your Daz library. Now I'm going to show you later on in this video what happens when you set this up with an M.2 drive. Now this is a reason. I'm not getting down on people, but this is a reason why you don't buy a laptop for your Daz, okay? I mean, just think about it. You are trying to do something with a computer that is highly advanced. You're trying to render graphics on your computer. A laptop is for going and taking notes on the train, okay? A laptop is for checking your email. I mean, I'm not saying that a laptop can't be used with Daz, but even the very, very best laptops have serious, very, very serious drawbacks when it comes to Daz Studio. Even if you buy a $3,000 laptop, okay, you are going to find that it has drawbacks, huge drawbacks when it comes to Daz Studio. what you do is you buy a tower. You buy the biggest tower you can buy. You buy yourself a full-size tower, okay? They stand, you know, about maybe 3 feet tall, okay? And you build inside of that tower what you need, and then you're able to replace the motherboard in the tower, replace the RAM, upgrade the RAM. You're able to buy these M.2 and stick them on the motherboard. Now, in a laptop, you don't have the space. You don't have the ability to modify your system and to constantly say, okay, well, I've been working for the last 4 or 5 months and I have earned enough money to buy my graphics card. Well, you can't put it in a laptop, okay? So it doesn't matter if you have the money sitting in the bank for a 5090 graphics card, you're not going to be able to put it in your laptop, okay? Do not base your entire DAZ experience on a laptop. Get yourself a 4K monitor. Get yourself a full tower with a motherboard in it, and that you can change the components within the motherboard, okay? So enough of that. This is what you do. This is how you work with Daz Studio, is with a PC, not a laptop, okay? Now, if you want to buy a Mac, that's a matter of your decision. But there again, you don't buy a Mac laptop to work with Daz. You just don't do that. If you do it, you have just killed yourself with your work. You take that money. That's when they make a laptop, they have to make everything teeny tiny. And that costs money. So what you're paying for in that laptop, probably a good half of that laptop, is the money that you're paying for them to make everything miniaturized. So you're paying. So instead of having the power and the hardware you've just thrown a ton of money out the window so they could make it miniaturized. Okay, right out of the gate. And then everything's soldered and so small, you can't get inside that laptop and change things. And they actually solder things inside there to stop you from doing that, okay? And the thing is that I just spent $800 on an M.2 drive. This isn't the actual one. This is one of them that I've taken out of my computer. My phone won't. My thing won't. I don't have it on auto. Auto. I didn't realize that until earlier today, but I don't have it on auto. I just have it set to autofocus. I have it just set to focus kind of about where I am. It stops it from drifting around, okay? But this is an M.2 drive. It's a little teeny, and if you look on the screen here, this is it. We'll make this a little bit larger so you can see, okay? It has this little prong in it, okay? Now, it all depends. I started out with a 2 terabyte M.2 drive, okay? Then my Daz library grew, and I needed to buy a 4 terabyte M.2 drive. And I ended up splitting up my library. Oh, don't do that. I have a video where I show you how to split up your Daz3d library. Don't do that. It only leads to a mess later down the road, okay? You just have to keep buying bigger M.2 drives, okay? And this M.2 drive has 7,000 megabits per second, megabytes, I get megabits, I think it is, per second. And I think it's megabytes, but I'm not sure because I think it's with, but I'm not sure. Okay, it's one or the other. So, but it's 7,100. Okay, and you'll see that some of them, this one is 14,000 megabits per second. This tells you how fast. Now you can get a laptop. These things are already kind of miniaturized. You can get a laptop with one of these in it. You can get a laptop with an 8 terabyte M.2 in it. Okay, just the M.2 8 terabyte. This little teeny chip here. Okay, card. Okay, this little card here with all the chips on it. That costs, for an 8 terabyte that runs at 7,000 speed, costs $800. Okay? And so I just picked one of these up, and I'm going to show you how it works and what it's like having one of these now, if your library isn't that big, if it fits on a 2 terabyte, and if it fits on a 2 terabyte M.2 drive, then you're lucky. You only have to pay $128 until it gets full, and then you have to buy the 4 terabyte one. And then when that gets full, you buy the 8 terabyte one. Now this one right here is twice as fast as this one. These are 2 terabyte. That's 2 terabyte. Okay, you have to learn these. You have to learn these terms, okay? So, but you have a 2 terabyte, that's how much you can fit on it. And the 2 terabyte is the same here. It's the same amount of DAS models that your install manager can install on here, okay? But this one says Gen 4, and this one says is PCI Express 5. Okay, this is PCI Express 4, this is PCI Express 5, which means that this is much faster. And, you know, I don't know, when it comes to graphics card, the graphics card is only so fast. But when it comes to PCI Express, it literally doubles the speed, okay? If you hook this card into a PCI Express slot, okay, it's going to double the speed to 14,000 megabits per second. Mine is not a PCI Express 5, okay? Because to buy an 8 terabyte PCI Express 5 chip, okay, card here, to buy one that speed, it's probably close to, you know, almost $2,000, okay? So, and my motherboard only goes up to 5.0 to 4.0. So if I bought it, it wouldn't be able to run at that speed. It would run at this speed, okay? So there's no point in me buying one of these. Now, when I buy my $10,000 computer, it will have enough of these to put 2 or 3 of these in my computer. Will I be able to afford the $2,000 M.2 8 terabyte drive? No, probably. Well, you know, it's going to be a $10,000 computer. So yeah, if we put $2,000 aside for the 8 terabyte, okay. And this not only speeds up how fast a Genesis 9 model loads into your scene, okay? It also speeds up your viewport. And when you're moving around in the viewport, it speeds that up, okay? Because as you're moving around in your viewport like this, okay? As you're moving around in the viewport, that there are textures here, okay, that dynamically load from the chip. As you move around in your scene, it doesn't show everything. It shows you kind of what you're looking at. But if you move all the way over in your scene like this and it shows more of the scene, it has to load those textures because it keeps them, it only kind of shows you, it's called culling. It only shows you what it needs to show you. And so as you move around in your scene, those have to load from your hard drive, okay? And so the faster your hard drive is, your solid state drive is, the faster your viewport will be, okay, in rendering. Now this is not tied into the 2025 issue where they haven't optimized the viewport yet. Apparently that's a very difficult thing for them to do. And they'll do it when they figure out what's wrong. So, but no, this has to do with, now there's one other issue here that I want to talk about, and then we're going to go into like working with this, and I'm going to be showing you what this new M.2 that runs at 4 speed at 7,000 megabits per second, and we're going to be showing you what it does, okay? And there's one other issue though we have to talk about, and these are M.2 slots. This is my motherboard right here, and I have a now underneath this motherboard, now you'll see there are these little, it's like hard to do this without, okay, and I think we can possibly, yeah, plus, okay, this works. Now as you can see, this right here, this big panel here, and this panel, and this right here, okay, this right here is an M.2 slot. And so what you do is you plug the M.2 into it, and it lays flat here. And then this right here twists around it to hold it down. And sometimes they come with little teeny screws, and the little teeny screws are the tiniest screws you've ever had to screw into anything. But you screw that little screw in, and it holds the M.2 down into. So you just plug it into there, and then you flatten it out, and you either twist this. This has like a little clamp thing that you twist around, and it holds the M.2 flat. And there is another M.2 slot here, and there are 2 more here. So this particular, my motherboard has 1, 2, 3, 4 M.2 slots. And these covers here are heat sinks. They absorb the heat off of the M.2 card, okay? And so this is how this works. And so there's one other issue you have to take into consideration here. All right, now this right here is the CPU slot. Okay, this is where the main central processing unit plugs into the motherboard. Okay, this does all your computation. It doesn't do your rendering, but it helps, okay? And it does do your viewport, okay? It works with your viewport. This is called the chipset, okay, in here. So this is another type of, I don't know that it would be a CPU, but it's a like a receiving station, okay? And so what they do with these motherboards is they have some of these M.2s, like this M.2, that M.2, and the one that's under here. They look just like this, but they're just under this plate. There's 3 M.2s here, and there's 1 here. These 3 M.2s hook to the chipset, okay? and then they hook to the CPU. But this M.2 slot here hooks directly to the CPU. Okay? So you have to find out if you buy an M.2 drive, okay, for your DAS content, okay, you have to go to you have to make sure that you have PCI Express 4.0. But then you have to go to the motherboard owner's manual, and you have to find out which slot, if any, hooks directly to the chip, okay, to your CPU chip. And you put that DAS library. So it's okay to put like your Windows on like a slower M.2. You see, they're still fast. They're still 7,000. But what happens is this one is 7,000 hooked directly to the CPU, and this one is 7,000 hooked to this, then it has to hook to that. And that causes latency, okay? It causes it to stutter and delay, okay? And so yes, there's 7,000 megabits per second still coming through, but this is stuttering it, okay? Because it's saying, I got to see it first, then we'll send it here, okay? Where this one, it says, here's your DAS content, right to the CPU, okay? And that's, or if you're turning your scene, you're rotating your scene, and it's got to pull those textures from the scene, from the solid state drive into your scene, it pulls them immediately because there's your CPU and your M.2 talking directly with each other. Okay, but in this case, it's got to pull them through here, then to there, okay, and that is going to cause, and like I said again, this is not the reason why version 2025 has stutters, okay, that's not why, because I've taken this and hooked it directly to this to the CPU, and I use it in DAS 4.24, and it goes just as smooth as can be. And I use it in DAS 2025, and there's jerky stutter. Okay, so they just haven't figured out what it is wrong. That's not that, or it might be just too hard. You know, they've got to maybe do a million lines of code to fix it. I don't know, and they're working at it. Okay, so eventually they'll put out a version that fixes it. It's a matter of high precision and fine tuning it to get it to work right. So what we're talking about and this is your PCI Express bus like area. And so we have where we plug in our graphics card here. This graphics card at the top plugs directly to the CPU. Then these ones down here, and they see there's a long one right here. These plug to this, then to the CPU. So if you were to put two graphics cards in your computer, okay, one here and one here, and you'd have to have a very large, like 1,600 watt power supply. You hook two power, they're not going to be in sync, okay? Because this one hooks directly, and it's going to have a direct connection. Your graphics card is going to have a direct connection to the CPU, but this one down here is going to plug to here, then to there, and that's going to cause frame misalignment, and you will end up with like half of your VDB gone, okay? And so it takes one half of the screen. One half will show the VDB beautiful, and the other half is like clear. There's no VDB, and that would be this one that goes through here. It just doesn't synchronize properly. So what you have to do is buy a $2,000 or $3,000 motherboard, okay, for that big tower, okay? And you see, these things are not available in a laptop, okay? You can't put 2 graphics cards in a laptop. You can't buy one with 2 graphics cards, okay? That's what we're talking about here. This is why right from the get-go, the minute you buy that laptop, you have cut your ability to grow right, like, you know, down to you're, you know, like 10%, that you have 10% left for an ability to grow by buying a laptop for Daz Studio. You just don't do it. And the thing is the parts for your computer, all right, cost less, okay, because they don't have to be miniaturized. They cost less. So if you spend $800 on a laptop and $800 on a tower, you will get more for your money with a tower, because they don't have to put all that technology into miniaturizing the parts. Okay? So the thing is that you can get motherboards, this particular motherboard, and all of these plug into here and then go to here. This one right here goes directly into your CPU, okay? Like I said, you can buy motherboards where where it's got like 4 or 5 of these slots, and they all plug into the CPU. That would be like a Threadripper or a Xeon motherboard that would have these Xeon processors, okay? And none of them go through this. They go right, and they're all PCI Express 5, and because they have so many of these things called lanes. And so lanes is another thing you want to look up. Like the Threadrippers and the i9s and the Xeon processors have like 50, 60, sometimes even 100 lanes. And those lanes are what allow all of them to hook directly to the CPU. All right? And so there's no middle juggling around saying, okay, I'm passing this on to somebody else. I'm passing this on. Oh, I got to look at this. Okay, now we'll pass that on. We got to look at that. Oh, it's going over. Okay, I got to process this, then send it. So it's just sent directly to the CPU. Okay? So that is the end of our discussion here on optimizing your library. When you buy a motherboard like this motherboard, I think, is a couple $100, and let's see how much it is. Yeah, it's $189, okay? Then you plug your graphics card into this, okay, and you buy those M.2s, and you put them in there, okay? And then your library, when you boot to Windows, your library will be on this super high-speed 7000. Now, you can get a laptop that does have, you know, probably 2 or 4 or even 8, like I said, but if you buy a laptop with an 8 terabyte solid state drive in it, you're going to be paying about $3,000 for it. Okay, that's the level of that. And most of that money that you're putting into it is also, it can be miniaturized, so you can carry it to the library. It's like, do you really need to take your Daz machine to the library, you know, or, you know, can't you just, all a tower is you got the tower, your monitor, and the mouse and keyboard, all right? So you heft the tower and you put it in the back of the car and you set it down sideways so it doesn't fall over while you're driving. And you drive, okay? Is it that much work if you're going on a trip somewhere and you want to bring your computer? That's what you do. Now, if you really need to, get a laptop just to do kind of like travel stuff. If you're traveling every single day of your life, well, you know, it might be good to get a $3,000 laptop, but it's still not going to be, because I'm going to show you something that you can't do with a laptop, okay? Just right from the get-go, okay? This is my, these are my hard drives, okay? All right, where are we going here? Here. Now I have inside my computer, this is a 4 terabyte M.2, okay? Inside of a laptop, you might be able to hook 2 hard drives, okay? You might be able to hook a 2 8 terabyte M.2s, okay? 8, so that's 16 terabytes. That's about the limit of what you can put inside of without spending $10,000, okay? So that's 16 terabytes. Now this right here is 4, okay? This one right here is 8, okay? That's 2, okay? That's so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is 8 terabyte, an 8 terabyte hard drive that I have inside my tower, okay? This is a 12 terabyte hard drive. This is already larger than anything you would probably put in a laptop. This is another 8 terabyte hard drive in my tower, okay? Now we've said 16 terabytes for solid state is about the highest speed you can get. And if you get 16 terabytes in a laptop, you're talking about a $4,000 laptop, okay? Now, here's an 18 terabyte disk drive, okay? Here's another 500 gigs in a M.2, all right? Here's another 500 gigs. These are empty right now. 500 gigs. I may not keep them in my computer. They're just too small. It's like I'd rather those slots have 8 terabyte, but I don't have the $800 to replace these, okay? But it's 500 gigs, okay? A very fast speed, but these ones go through the chipset and not directly to this one is the only one that goes directly to the CPU, okay? Now, this one is another 4 terabyte. This is for my games, and I have a bunch of other stuff on here. And then this is another 2 terabyte M.2, and this is another 20 terabytes. This is actually a 24 terabyte drive, but Windows took 4 of them for whatever, I'm not sure why. But this is a 24 terabyte drive, okay? And your laptop is limited to about 16 terabytes. This alone is 20, that's 12, that's 18, okay? This is why, and this one's almost full, that's half full. This is almost full of my Daz library. This is half full, and the other 8, this other one is pretty full, this 8 terabyte solid, these are disk drives, okay? That's a disk drive, that's a disk drive, and that's a disk drive. I wouldn't be able to have all this data. And you say, oh, I can hook it up externally. The internal speed versus external speed of transferring stuff from outside of your computer into your computer is slow, okay? And so that's what you're dealing with when you say, oh, I can just hook up a bus and hook all kinds of hard drives to my laptop. Well, that bus, okay, even if it's a very, very fast, like USB 4 or whatever, it's not as fast as the internal speed that these, when they're inside your computer, hooked into your computer, They transfer much faster than the USB. So this is what we're talking about. This is why we don't buy laptops for DAS, okay? Because I wouldn't be able to store this data. And now there's a difference, okay? These disk ones, okay? They are slow, but they're faster than if they were external, okay? But they're still slow. So they store data redundancy, like I can have like copies of my data in case one drive goes bad or then I can have copies of my data, my projects, my music files, all of these things. I can have copies of them. They're slow, okay? But they store tons of data, okay? This is an entire lifetime worth of data that I've collected, okay, over my whole life. And so, but these M.2 drives, they don't hold very much. Like these, it cost $800 for this one. This is my Daz library. This one cost $800, but it's like 15 times faster than these disk drives, okay? And so these ones are for your library. Now I'm going to show you what this disk can do, because it's PCI Express, it's M.2, it's not a disk drive, because it's PCI 4.0 Express, and because it's hooked directly to the CPU. Let's see what it can do in Daz Studio. All right. First of all, this is me in iRay moving the scene around. Look how quickly that moves. I can move him around. Okay? This is because he is living on this solid state drive. And when I move him around in the scene, okay, we go X. Okay? It's not incredibly fast, but it does actually move, okay? All right? And now when I go into texture shaded, it's just butter smooth. It just moves so smooth. Now there's a little bit of a hitch there, okay? And we are in, remember we are in, so it's a little bit of a hitch there, but it's still pretty good. And now when we take this scene here, we go back and to iRay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to empty this scene, get rid of this, and we're going to bring in our a figure here. How long does it take for a Genesis 9 figure to load from one of these drives, from one of this M.2 that is plugged directly to the chip? It's and it's PCI Express 4. It's an 8 terabyte drive. How long does it take? Okay, now what is wrong here? Where are all my figures? Oh, we got Ash here. So this is the new Callum figure. Let's bring him in. He has extremely highly detailed skin, okay? So we're going to bring him into the scene. So we go figures, and let's bring him in. How long does it take? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. There it is. 38 seconds. Let's put some pants on him. Okay, 38 seconds. And as we move around the scene, now if we zoom in on him, you can see why it takes 38 seconds. Look at his skin. Look at the detail in him, okay? And he has this quite a lot of detail in his geometry also. So take Callum, okay? Let's go and pick something that's maybe not quite as let's go with Friedrich. Okay, we go to default, figure 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. Okay, so it was about three seconds sooner, okay? The Genesis figures take a while for them to come in. These are the things that take the longest, and it's based upon how many morphs, like packages that you've bought. The more morphs that you've bought for your figures, the longer it's going to take, because it has to load all of those morphs for the figures. And so this is loading. I've bought a lot of morphs, all the Genesis 9 essential morphs and all these morphs for morphing them into all kinds of different things. I've bought every kind of morph that you can buy for these figures. So they have, so it takes them, but if I did not have this, this very high speed drive, okay, I would end up with it would be over a minute and a half before the figure came into the scene. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. And now let's take a look at something else here. All right, when I come here and I click on default, this is 13,000 items, okay? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, 11 seconds to load 13,000 items. Okay? This is my entire Daz. It's just, and look how smoothly this scrolls through them. Okay? This is 13,000 assets, products inside of these. Now if we go to files, take this HDRI out, then we have even more. And look at how quickly it scrolls down through these products. It's just amazing. Now, this is See, this is what having a solid state drive, you know, an 8 terabyte solid state drive. Now, if you say, well, I would like one of those 8 terabyte solid state drives in my laptop, you can't. It's because that stuff's all soldered in. There's a possibility that you might be able to put a solid state drive into your laptop. Sometimes they don't solder them, and it allows you to swap out your current one. It all depends. If it's PCI Express 4.0, then you would be able to put that in, but you're not going to end up with this many drives inside a laptop. Okay? That's the thing. Is you're just not, and it's like I have this right now. This is 4 gigs, 4 terabytes worth of games. It's only about, and I think I have something else on here. Yeah, I have my Daz downloads. So these are all of the downloads from, I've thrown this on this drive. So I keep my Daz downloads. I don't let it delete them after they're installed. That's the luxury. So if I ever need to redo my, which I just did, it took a day and a half to redo because I had them all, I redid them fresh onto this drive. And this drive still has, this 8 terabyte drive still has 3 terabytes left. Okay, so now let's go back. Let's add some more complexity to the scene. We'll go into the environments. Let's find an environment for him to stand in. Did you see how quickly that just came into the scene? See that? You see the Genesis 9 with all those morphs? They take a while. But did you see how quickly I just double-clicked and instantly that because it doesn't have all those morphs that are involved with it, okay? You can uninstall, if you don't use your morphs a lot, you can go into the Daz install manager and uninstall a bunch of them. And your figures will snap right into the scene. Just go in and uninstall a bunch of your morph packages. And be careful when you buy them, okay? All right, this is another one here, another scene. How quickly? 1, 2, 3 seconds. And boom, this environment is in here. Okay, so it does tell you that is what's doing that with your figures is all of the morphs that you buy. It's like you want to be able to you know, shape their face and do all kinds. If you don't do a lot of that stuff, if you kind of just use your figures and blend their shapes together, you don't need all those morph things unless you're making unique characters all the time. Okay, so this is another scene. Let's see, this one. Would you like to see? Okay, cancel. Let's not do that. Let's merge. Oops, it didn't take the pillars and shadows out. So we're going to end up with, we'll get rid of the pillars and shadows, okay? Here's another scene. Did you see how quickly that loaded in? And this moving around. Here, this has quite an atmosphere in here, and there's not much light, and so it taking a while for it to render. But look at how quickly I can move this around in iRay. You see, that is because it's funneling those textures from behind instantly into the scene from the drive, okay? Because it's connected directly to the CPU. Let's try a few more of these scenes, okay? Let's see. We have just how quickly can they load? Here's an entire home. Okay, we're going to go merge into scene. 1, 2. That's pretty much done. Yep, look at this now. It doesn't look like it's furnished. And we're looking through a window now. But look at this, and look at how quickly it moves around. Yes, I'm using a 4090, but the 4090 is really not doing anything right now. This is the interaction between the CPU and the 4090 is helping, but it was something weird with his chest. It looks like, oh, it might be the lighting. Looks like his, no, I guess not. I thought, well, it's shadows, okay? It looks like his arms were, like his textures were somehow mismatched, but this is a beautiful figure. I really love this particular figure here. This is Friedrich 9. Yeah, he's an amazing figure. The artist who made him did a good job. Yeah, one of my favorites. So then we take this pre-built home out, okay, and we go, let's find a nicer, boom, did you see how quickly it loaded that HDRI into the scene? You see, so this all has to do with that synergy between your graphics card okay, and we take, now put him in some kind of pose. Okay, what did I do? Pose. I clicked the wrong thing here. Well, we'll go with it. We can't do this while. We have to select him and then do this. Well, you can come back, guy. See, I'm able to move him around in iRay. Not very well, but and let's go out of iRay for a moment, and we can move things really very well. Okay, now we go here, up, parameters, Z, brings him in. X, Y. All right, let's see what we have. Control 0 brings us back in. iRay comes in nice and snappy. And then we take our environment and we rotate our dome a little bit. Kind of like the one where we had the sun a little bit in there. There we go. So we'll call this sun dune. All right. How quickly does it save? Done. You see, it just saved onto that drive. You see that drive, it improves your load time for your scene. It improves your load time for your scene elements, okay? It improves your panning around in your scene because it's drawing things in real time from the drive as you're panning around in the scene. And then it improves your save when you're saving your scene as well. So you're not sitting there waiting for your scene to save, okay? Because it's trying to go through that chipset to your drive, okay? And then and those drives, all those other drives are sharing that chipset, okay? So they're all fighting to say, hi, I'm here too, I'm here, and they're all trying to fight for the attention of that chipset, and that chipset has such a small amount of bandwidth that it takes a while for things to save. It takes a while for things to get to where they're trying to get to. So this is the this is how you do it. This is how you set this up. You get yourself one of these M.2 drives, okay? You get one of those and you get yourself a tower, not a mini tower, okay? A full tower, okay? This is how you do this. This is how you work. You get a full tower so that someday you might even be able to put one of those $4,000 graphics cards in. Now, so I'm not going to go into the Dream Machine, but right now there's a motherboard that you can buy that's about $2,000 or $3,000. Okay, that motherboard has all of the PCI slots connected directly to the CPU. And what that means is that you can put two graphics cards in there, two $3,000 graphics cards in there, okay? And they will both synchronize together. When they work, they will work together. So now at this point we have, there's the $6,000 graphics card that has 96 gigs of video RAM and 96. So you can make some big scenes with that. Now, if you put two of them in your computer, okay, they would work connected to that, and that would give you this massive rendering ability for extremely large scenes, okay? So that is the way this works. So this is beautiful. I mean, this just how quickly you can boom, it's saved like that. Let's start another scene, okay? So go File, New, all right? And we'll just go New Scene, Create. How long did it take to empty the scene? Well, that has a lot to do with the graphics card and this M.2 talking together. Okay, so now we go back into here, we find ourselves a figure. figures. Now it only took 2 seconds for those figures, for all of my, like, I don't know, 2,000, 3,000 figures to show. Like 2 seconds. All right, let's use, if we use him, I wish they would have given us this John in a Genesis 9 figure. It's like, really? Why give us him in a Genesis 8 figure? Let's use Wagner. Now, Wagner has he has extremely high quality skin. Now, what happens is your Daz adapts as you start working with it more. It might only take Wagner about maybe 4 or 5 seconds to come into the scene. As you slowly start working with Daz and you keep Daz open, it starts loading these morphs and keeping them kind of resident, so that when you load the scene, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we've just lost like 10 seconds on loading this figure. Now we go put some pants on him. And all right, so then we find him a pose. See what we can find here. All right. All right, we're going to keep it from the front and turn him sideways. Parameters, so we keep things from the front. Y rotate. I'm rotating him now we're rotating him in iRay, okay? Just keep that in mind also. All right, we're going to keep him like this, and we're going to move him off to the side like this. And we go Wagner, X translate. See, that's because I know which way X goes when I keep this frontal like this, okay? That is why it's important to keep that like this. Okay, so let's, now let's go to ultra scenery. See, ultra scenery, in order to make ultra scenery, it has to pull all of these plants and trees and grass and all these items from the disk to make your scene. And if you have this very, 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 very fast and large disk, it can pull these things from the disk very quickly. See, so that's, where is ultra scenery 2? I think I might have taken it out by accident. Yeah, so we'll go here to Windows, Panes, and we go to Ultra Scenery 2. Throw that down in here. We'll go right about here. Power Pose, I don't use that anymore. I just kind of pose my figures the way they need to be. So we go here to Ultra Scenery 2. We add that in. Takes a moment here. Do you see how quickly it just brought that land in? Okay. See, that's because that M.2 is communicating directly with the CPU. There's no in between. Okay. So now we go here to Save Location, Browse, Up, and we'll call this Cowboy Ranger. All right. And we got to pull our cowboy up in the air a little bit, or pull our ground down. Okay, so we'll pull the ground down. And so we take and we select this, and we go to here, maximum altitude. Let's go -5. What does that do? Well, that kind of did it, all right, but we got to bring it up a little bit more, so we'll go -4. It looks like he's almost there touching that. No, he's not. So we're going to go less than 5. We'll go 4. We'll go -2. Okay, -3. -2.5. Okay, how far are you away from the ground there, Wagner? Okay. -2 point, what is it? 2. All right. All right. Okay, we just already saved this. It's called, what? Okay, no, we didn't. We saved the scene. It was called Cowboy Ranger. File, save as scene. Okay, I didn't have to mess that up. All right, Cowboy Ranger, saved. You see that? Just done. Okay, so now we take our ultra scenery. Let's add a kind of terrain here. Biome. Where's the biome? And we have to load a biome here. Water, no. Ecology, this is it. I don't know that that's it. We'll use one of these classic content. Desert 11. Now look how quickly it's loading and all of that stuff onto the land. Just thousands of items. It's like popcorn. It reminds me of like popcorn, how some things are bigger and some are smaller, and it just kind of sprightly kind of pops into the scene off of the hard drive. And the hard drive, that solid state drive, is serving this in like 7,000 chunks, 7,000 megabits per second chunks. See, so this process, I used to like, on my other computer, I used to click on it and then go in the kitchen and cook lunch, you know, and then come back and it would be done. So this is again, it's about the time to load thousands of items into the scene. It's about taking about the time it took to load a Genesis 9 figure in with all their morphs. The Fallen Wood, 13.5. So this is pretty amazing. You know, a lot of the reason I do this for you guys. I do this, I buy these products and I buy them so they're very fast. So you don't have to sit and wait while, we're live, so that when I load a figure into the scene, it's kind of fast. Yes, it takes sometimes up to 30 seconds to load them in, but it doesn't take 2 minutes. And that's why I do this, is so that you all have a so he's going to have a little goatee there coming down, and cowboy hat, and maybe a horse over here. Okay, let's see what we got. It's still populating. See if this worked. Now, extend forest, we need culling. Culling is already working, so I think. Here we go. Now let's save this. Look at how quickly it just saved. Let's see, 4,000 base stones, 11,000 long grass, 8,000 river pebbles, 4,000 poppies, 9,000, 42,000 poppies. 42,000 poppies. Okay, so now we're going to go here and render this and see what happens. See what our render settings say. General, 2,000. We'll do it at 2,000. And we'll do our progressive render, maximum time, maximum samples. Turn that off. Optimization. I'll leave these. We'll leave the caustic sampler off and the spectral rendering off. Okay, we need an HDRI. Let's find one. Okay, let's go with that. Make sure it's turned on. Environment options, parameters. Draw a dome. There we go. Save this. And now let's see what this looks like in a render. Probably got a cactus growing right up through him. No, this is pretty good actually. How do I end up so lucky with this stuff, you know? Just look at that. It's just perfect. It's just beautiful. Now we're going to go here. I just don't think I need to do it. I'd like to move that rock, but maybe not. I think it's okay. It's not hurting anybody. So let's go back to Wagner and put some clothes, cowboy clothes on him. It's kind of hot for cowboy clothes, but maybe we'll just give him a t-shirt and cowboy hat to kind of, we'll see. I don't think it's some kind of just a t-shirt and some kind of jeans. All right, so we're speaking of jeans. Let's get him some jeans. That would be in clothing or wardrobe. See how quickly that came up? See, this is amazing. This is Vlad jeans. We'll try them. And what's Vlad? Oh, let's guess he's Genesis 8, I think, male. Look at that. This is going to work nice. We'll leave him barefoot. Okay, that didn't work. Vlad must be a different, so go Z, we'll take them off. Vlad must be like Genesis 3 or something. Vlad, it doesn't say. Well, this is Vlad Genesis 8, so those will work. All right, so we'll do this one. All right. Those must be Genesis 3. Okay, now we can get rid of the, that looks good. We can get rid of our shorts. Okay, save that. And let's get him a t-shirt. Tank top. We'll go with this ragged one. No, that's not quite. How about this assault one? What's that for? Genesis 8? 8 male. See how quickly it does these computing things? Because it's wardrobe and CPU. It's not going through another. Now that works. Just again, this really lucky stuff. Cowboy. All right, we're looking for the hat. We need the hat. Okay. Kind of like this one. All right. I'd like to tilt it back a little bit, but I think I can. Okay, cowboy hat. Where's the hat? I think you have to hit this hip thing. Okay. And we'll leave it down like that. All right, and now we're going to give Vlad some, well, this is Wagner. We're going to give him, okay, let's do the goatee thing. I promised you a goatee here. Hair. We'll go here. Let's go back to files. Base. See if we can find our little. Okay, we can hide this. Okay. Let's go to product ID highest. Why? It's highest, and why are we getting these old products? Oh, it might be ascending, descending. Let's see. All right, for some reason we're getting like really old products here first. We'll find it. This Petrov. Try that, see how that works. He is what? He's got to be Genesis 8. And that doesn't work. Okay, we got to have a camera. Create new camera. Copy here so we can lock the camera. All right, edit, object, lock. Okay, camera's locked. Now we can zoom in on that face and see what something's not right with this. Yeah, see there's a weird jangle that's happened with this. I think I could smoothen that out with, instead let's just find something that's more, where is it? That doesn't have to be repaired. Okay, we select back on our Logner. I hope you can hear me. Okay, bring this up a little bit more. Okay, let's find, we got something here. These are kind of interesting. Oh, here's this one. Let's try this. I think this is for Genesis. There we go. To our camera. And let's give him some scruff. Let's see this. Well, there we go. And then we'll give him some body hair. Okay. I didn't do that right. Okay. This may not work. Okay, now we go back to our perspective mode here. See what's happening with his chest. He's got this all coming through his, we got to fix that somehow, and I don't know that this is the kind of hair that lets us fix it, but maybe it is. Let's see what we got here. Hair, okay, so we don't need leg hair. And we don't need armpit. I don't think his armpit's actually showing any. We'll leave it there, all right? And torso, nostril, I will leave that there too, okay? Legs, okay, we've got like a double set here. Let's get rid of the other set. Okay, shell hair. Okay, I think that, oh, that's his beard, okay. And then he doesn't have any head hair. This shell hair looks terrible. This is why you look at stuff before you know, it may not be turned on. Let's see, shell hair, parameters, visible, let's see. Oh, okay, visible. Oh, the shell hair ended up on the chin. Okay, let's get some real 5 o'clock shadow instead of this. Okay, let's see, these are nice too, but I think I'm going to stick with the long one here. Okay, and we go with Kai. I think I know what I want to use. Not K. this guy. Not beard. See, this is a pretty nice beard here. And we go. Let's try it. Genesis 8. Here we go. See how quick that is. Come on, load. Converting. Oh, I guess we need the beard too. And that's kind of okay, but let's see. No, that's too much. Z. All right, that didn't work. Okay. This is kind of nice, this scruffy thing here. Okay, it's a little bit red, but that works. So we'll take some of the red out of it. We go to surfaces, beefcake hair. See how red that is? We'll take some of the red out here. Okay, there we go. And we got to give him. All right, let's not worry about his head hair yet. Okay, let's go back to his torso. This is the really bad part here. So what we got to see if this is the kind of hair that we can use Geometry Editor on, or our tool settings. We could possibly even use Geometry Sculptor and push it in. Let's try that first. Okay, we got to go out of here. Okay, Geometry Sculptor, what are we using here? We've got to use, that's a smoothing brush. Okay, we're going to use this. Why isn't that working? Oh, here we go. See how amazing that is? These are like legacy problems that we used to have with our figures. It's like, what do you do about the hair coming through the clothes? And now you see what we do. How we fix things. That's not working. We got to make this a little smaller. Which is where? Okay, here, this radius. Go down to, well, we'll go. What was it? 4? Go to 3. Okay. It's probably, you can't even see this, but okay, but it fixes it. See how that works? All right, that worked well. Okay, we go back to our camera view. Very well. Now, barrel. Okay, we'll take this barrel. Okay. Let's take a look at it from the top. Let's take his hat and bend it down a little bit. We go to here, to our where is it? Tools. Okay, Geometry Sculptor. Let's go back to 5. We got this little twist thing. Let's go to 8. Let's take this barrel and hide it for a moment. Go back to our hat. It's not working. Z. Let's go to 12. Back to 5. Let's go and see what that looks like, camera. Put our barrel back in. Okay. Go back to the cowboy hat. Okay. Let's give him some hair. Okay, I think I'm going to go with the shaved hair. short. Here it is, shaved. This one, I think it is. Looks like a new image for that. What did that just do? Put some kind of bodysuit on him. That didn't work. You can't even tell his hair because he doesn't have hair, but okay, we'll go with this Genesis 8 male hair. Go with that. Hopefully it's not going to stick through his hat. I really ruined his hat. I think I got to fix that, but we'll fix it. Let's get up close and see what it looks like. Okay, at least we don't have his hair coming through his hat. He's got hair now. Let's fix his hat. He does have hair coming through it. Let's see what we can do. We got a complex scene thing happening here. First we fix the hat. The bubble here isn't looking good. I think what I'll do is smooth it out first. Try smoothing it. See how good our tools are working. Where is it? Tools. Okay. Geometry Sculptor. Let's try smoothing this. There we go. See how that worked? And I might have to undo that one. Wow, okay. I might have just overdone that too, but that kind of worked. We still have his hat going through the barrel. All right, let's put the hat back. Okay. All right, back up here. Cowboy. Okay. Hat. A ranger. Let's go to clothing. Let's try some of these other hats and see. I think that's Genesis 8. I'll try Genesis 8. See if it works. Nope. Let's see what these are made for. This is Genesis 3. That's Genesis 2. Maybe that would have helped if I had used the right. That's a little too Paul Revere. Z, let's see. No, that doesn't work. How about this one? It's Genesis 3. That didn't even try to auto fit. Z. But we can try to move it there, I guess. We can find it. All right, there's the cowboy hat. Okay, where's our cowboy hat? Now we got to $12. We'll go 8. How about if we just pull it? There we go. It takes a little bit of art to do this. You know, kind of sculpting, that's what it is. It's sculpting. All right, so we go back to our camera view and see if this works. It kind of does. Gives you the idea. And now his arm hair, we're going to just make it a little bit translucent so it's not going to be as strong looking. So we go to shaping, go to our surface here, arm hair, and let's go to cut out opacity. I don't want to make it too shorter, I just want to make it less obvious. Art, welcome people. I'm sorry I missed all of your cheesy, chesty post work. We've all been there. That's funny. I'm talking loud now. I'm so excited to see that people have responded and talked. Welcome, people. Welcome. I was just talking about you. I hope it was good. He's so focused, and I even click on that pizza emoji. Art makes a scene, 7 thumbs up, 1,000 people watching. Nice. Did someone say art? I did. Yes, art is here to help. It's very wonderful to have you here. So we're going to now take and do a render with our full iRay scenes. You guys missed the beginning part of this video where I talk about a new M.2, one of these, okay, that I put in my computer, and it sped up my library scene. I was running out of space. Now look at this. Okay, let's see how that just made that hair like kind of more transparent. We could do a little bit of that. I'd kind of, either his chest hair's got to be, his beard is too green. Okay, so we got to fix some of that. All right, so that's the first thing, the chin braid. We go here, what's here? Hair, okay, we're gonna take hair 1, okay, which one? Okay, we're gonna take some of the green out. Translucency color, glossy color, we'll just take some of it out. Hair 2, same thing, take some of the green out. See how that looks? We got to get up close and see what's going on with his beard. It just looks too green. There, I think that worked. Okay, let's get up close and see what we've got here. See how that took that green out, but he's still got the green. Hair 1. It's hard to tell which one is which. I'm wondering, about this mane hair. Okay, we hide this and what's left. Okay, so it's that. And mane hair, and there's only the mane hair. Okay, we've got, okay, so this hair, it's nice hair, but it's not working. Okay, so this has gone red, which is what I wanted, it kind of redder and not so green. We'll just give him something very subtle, okay, for his beard. Okay, we go here. I kind of know how to maneuver my way around in this part here. This, products, hair, face. Thinking it's just too dang hot to wrangle any steers today. Art, you can, what is the word? I don't know, telepath or what he's saying. I can't remember the thing. Glean his thoughts. I am sure they are. Now we're going to go. This guy, one of these guys has, yeah, he's got 2. See, this is just plain stubble. You got to know your figures and what they have. Okay, snap to there a little better. There we go. Oh, but there's no beard. Where's the beard? Z. Okay, let's try this. Oh, the goatee. Yeah, see, that's not what we want. Let's try Zeke. I don't see any beard there either. Let's try this guy. No. Yes. Oh, it's like, oh, that was Leo. And welcome, Leo. I'm not sure if I've had you in here before. That's nice to have you here. Okay, let's try Kurt. Let's see if his mustache shows up. I want the mustache to show up. There we go. That works. See? And it's not green. Okay, we go back to our camera view. Now his chest hair is too dark, so we have to lighten it. And so we go back to the chest hair. I think we can lighten it by making it a little more transparent, and that will make some of his skin color come through. He looks pretty serious right there. Let's see now. We go to torso. Then we go to surfaces here. Let's see what happens when we're going to bring the cutout opacity down anyway on it. That should be enough, but then we'll take and lighten it a little bit. There we go. Camera. There we go. Save this. Now I'm going to give him a little bit of, let's make him a little bit dirty. So let's give him some dirt. The pants are too clean, so we'll start with the pants. Pants, jeans. All right, so we're looking for something that's called dirt. Dirt. Where is it? A product by Sickle Yield. That is amazing. Okay, where's our dirty? Touch of dirt. And we just pick one of these and it works. I think that's it. I don't think we have to apply dirt shell. We have to do this first. Okay, so we put them on the jeans. Okay, then we select. All right. Kind of works. Now what happens if we do the same to Wagner? Let's give him the dirt shell. I want to use memory instead. Okay. Because we have, it's thinking. Okay, accept. Can we make him look a little bit dirty? Yeah. And then we can take this shell. Okay, well, let's see what it looks like when we render. I like the dirt, but it's a little bit too much. So I think we can just take the dirt shell and just make it a little bit more transparent. And the jeans need D-force. Okay, because it's just like kind of ballooning around him. It's not laying on his shape. So we're going to take some of the dirt down. We have two dirt shells. I think we can just go into our surfaces here and just make them less. Where would be OP? Where's opacity? All right. What happens when we bring this down? Off. Does that turn it off? It does, so we just dial that in a little bit, like that. Okay, and then we do the same thing with him, his dirt shell. Okay, there we go. I think the jeans can come down a little more. Okay, we'll save that. D-force. No, yes, D-force. Okay, so now I don't think his hair isn't D-force. Maybe his goatee is. That could hang a little bit better. So we're going to just try D-force on the whole scene. What we'll do is we don't need him to move. We do have to hide the barrel so that doesn't mess with it. We should probably hide the ultra scenery as well. So let's just click on this. What happens when we hide that? All right, now we're going to run our simulation. That would be tool settings. What would be simulation settings? We're going to turn off start bone simulate. I should have saved it before I did this. Okay, but let's see what happens. Those pants may not be D-force. If they're not, we're going to try to make them D-force. Simulate, saying there's no objects to simulate. Okay, let's try making them. Let's save this first. Okay, and where are our jeans? Vlad jeans. No, these are the jeans. Okay, we go to Edit, Object, Geometry, Add Dynamic Surface. Okay, now simulate. Let's get out of iRay. Simulate. Oh, look at that. See, they're working. It's working. It's hanging on him. Okay, they're probably going to explode. Maybe, maybe not. All right, I think that's enough. We're tempting fate. That's all I wanted, was just a little bit of gravity there. Okay, now we can turn back on the ground. Let's hide all that stuff. Ultra scenery, turn that back on. And our barrel. Save this. I hope I didn't just make a mistake by saving this, but okay, we're going to take this leg here. I crashed it. Oops. All right, we're trying to do too much. We're trying to do too much. All right, File. New. Where's our Cowboy Ranger? Luckily, it only takes a moment for it to load. My new thing. We have T in here. Welcome, T. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Nice to have you here as well. We have Leo and Art and T. I haven't heard anything from Angus. He is probably snoozing away because it is earlier in his part of the world than it is in ours, generally. Okay, I think I saved this with the D-force on it. I wanted to click this leg. All right, we're going to go here, here. Okay, we're just going to try it this way and bend it. Okay, that's down. All right, that works. Maybe a little, one more. There we go. Save this. What's happening with his hands? Are they going through the, we got to look at his fingers. No, they're not going through the ground. That one is. Bend. No, this way. It's always the opposite way than what I do it. Okay. That was strange. Some kind of government spy contraption. Yeah, your cudicores. So you'll get more cudicores, but while you're working in Daz, you have to turn it off. Because what'll happen is it'll try to load. While you're working on the scene, you turn it off. You turn it on when you render, okay? And that is because what happens is the second graphics card is going through your chipset, usually, and the top graphics card is connected directly to your CPU. And because of that dynamic, what happens is the second graphics card is out of sync. They have latency, and so things like your VDBs will disappear. Like select this. All right, it looks like we might have audio back. Yeah, my Rodecaster might be getting too hot. So, all right, let's go back here. Can you all hear me? Camera. I think we're back. I think we are back. Let's save this. Yeah, it's not like I have anything for them to listen in on, because it's like I don't I don't really have any conspiracies that I've figured out yet, and I don't have any kind of, shady dealings. I'm just a kind of average, do-gooder kind of guy. Yep. So I guess that's pretty much it. So let's see what we can do with a render here. Let's see what our figure looks like in a render. Okay, now he's got a little bit too much of a stare, like kind of like this kind of thing going on. So I have to make his eyes a little bit smaller. But other than that, I think this is coming together here. Cancel this render. So we got to close his eyes a little bit. I was thinking about making him asleep. But I don't know if I want to go that far. So yeah, the eyes are just too much. Too much eyes. So we're going to select our figure here and go to our, this is definitely one morph that I would never get rid of, and this is going to be blink. And we take his eyes, bring them about here. And that works. Looks like it's a lot, but it just takes that stare out. You always have to do that with your Genesis, because your Genesis 9 figures, except if you've already put some kind of a pose on them and that's already fixed their eyes to do something. But like a Genesis 9 pose that comes. Even the mist, we haven't added any mist yet. I was thinking about some mist. So, or some smoke or something, some like foreground smoke of some sort, like mist. Mist is the word. Yes, it is. So I still can't think of that word that I was thinking of. All right, so it begins with a T, to like glean something, to teleport or something like that. I can't think of the T word. To translate. It's not that either. It's like, okay, so we're going to take a look at this now. We have it saved in our render. Let's see what we have for a render here. Okay. No, it's not transform, but that's a good guess. It's when you okay, now his eyes are just right. And he's got just enough dirt on his body. Yeah. This is pretty nice, actually. So it begins with a T, I'm quite sure, but no, translucent. It's when you get somebody's thoughts, when you glean, or they get their thoughts when you I think he's done. Yeah. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring this image into Photoshop, okay? Now, I will tell you another, or let's first mess with the camera a little bit. So we'll close here. Let's kind of play with the camera. So we have our camera locked. So if in order to do stuff with the camera, we have to unlock it. So we go to Object, Lock, Unlock. Okay. And then we can come here and put on the depth of field. Let's look at this from our perspective view and see what we have here. Yeah, it's like empath or something. It's like when you glean somebody's something. I am. All right, this has to be at his eye level. Okay, this thing here. This right here. So we've got to take and move this now focal distance so that that's there. We'll do the f-stop like this. And that has got to be about where his eyes are. Okay, now we can go back to the camera. So he's in focus. The back and the front are a little bit out of focus. And we can mess with that more. Make the back really blurry. Now let's see what happens. And his hand's a little blurry. But let's see what this looks like. It might be too much. See, this is pretty nice, but I think it's too much. We lose all the detail in this tree. So I think it's a Freudian word, you know, it's like transference or oh, so you've been working with Grok? I work with Copilot. Yeah, I'm a empath. It could be that, but it's not that word. Let's see, now we go back to our, yeah, I just want a little bit of depth of field. Then we're going to go into Photoshop and I'm going to show you some filters. You know when they say no post work? Well, I'm going to show you the god of post work, okay? This amazing program that And I've shown it before, but okay, now you see we can see some of this tree here. That's what I wanted. There's a little bit of blur here. And we have worked so hard to put all this detail in the scene. It's not good to like destroy it. So it's like impose or yeah, it is. You know that in the Daz gallery that the things that separate like art that looks like it was just rendered from art that looks like it has this patina to it that looks incredibly is post work. You know, and Daz doesn't have any of that post work stuff really. It has a little bit, and I prefer not to use it. So okay, so we're already up to almost 2,000 iterations. 2,000 is enough for this image. So we'll wait until it hits our 2,000 mark, which is going to be any moment now. There it is. Okay, we cancel this, yes. That's what we're going to be looking at. The god of all Photoshop add-ons, okay? And this parts of this is sold in the Daz store. That's how important it is to, we're going to look at it. Okay, this is called Cowboy Ranger. Okay. All right. We'll leave that open. Now we're going to open Photoshop. Okay, open. We're going to go here to our I can't find it because it was lost. I changed my stuff around, so we'll have to find it manually. Okay, which would be here. No, not desktop. It would be this PC, the new drive. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pin this to quick access. All right, and now we open this and we go to Cowboy Ranger. Okay, here is our image now. What we're going to do is go into Filter Forge. And you don't want to buy Filter Forge from the Daz store. You want to go right to Filter Forge, the people that own it. Cancel. Now look at this. See, this just instantly, look, hues control, look at that. Look at what Filter Forge does. And it comes with about 2,000 filters. And it does take it takes a fast PC. What really bothers me about Filter Forge is it doesn't, and look what you can do. You can show original, like this is before, and this is after. See, it just took a little bit of a veil off of the image, okay? But as we go through here, you'll see that there is some pretty, this is before and that's after. Okay, so before is on the left, grungy graphic novel. Now I have some really nice ones here. Look at this soft glow. Look at this. Look what that just did. See? It takes that really sharp render away and gives it this glow. Look at that. See? This is how you take your image. This is a soft focus. And so you find something you like, smooth skin. I think his skin is fine, so we don't need to do that. But you run it through. You can run it through several of them. Vignette, shadow vignette. It uses your computer, your CPU, to do these. They haven't fixed it yet to use your graphics card to do it. So this is, on the left is unprocessed, on the right is our process. I don't really care for that much. It's okay, but it darkens it. It takes too much away. But this soft glow, I like this a lot right here. That just gives it this kind of contrasty look. And then we could do something like later, but Angel. Let's see what this looks like. See, that's the before and that's the after. Now, I like what this does. It does kind of have a greenish look to it. You have your factory presets down here where you can kind of change different and use different ones. Oh, now, see, I like that a lot. This adds a kind of, well, I don't like what it does to his arm. Kind of lowers the bit rate a little bit. Oh, this is nice right there. Yeah. So we go advanced photo filter. Let's see, these are my favorites that I've picked out of the thousands. Now see, this is what I'd like, is to have this kind of, you see, this is kind of a greenish. I like this little bit of that orangey red tone. So what you do is you find auto tune, find something you like. Some of them take forever to go through. That's terrible right there. It's sometimes black and white just really fixes things, but this is blue sky. Look what it does to the sky. It just adds that. This is before and after. Look what that does. That's pretty interesting, huh? Doesn't really touch much. It does kind of give this a glow here and clean this up a little bit too. I kind of like that. Let's apply this. And it has to reprocess it because this is a larger image than the one that it takes in. Come on. You see, that added some nice light into the scene to brighten this area. Now we can bring it back in. I own like a lifetime of updates. It cost me like $400, almost $500 to buy Filter Forge. And but I bought the lifetime updates so I don't ever have to. Now down in here, oh, we're in the photo one. We're going to go to my favorites. Down in here, soft glow. I'd like to add that into it as well. Let's see. Let's just add a little bit less of it. So we can go into the settings of this. Glow size, strength. Just give it a little bit of glow. Like that. And apply that. There we go. And that's our image. Cowboy Ranger. So we come in here. Put this over here. Let's make that yellow maybe. All right. And we'll go, let's save this into here. We're going to go this instead of copy, we'll go edit. Okay, and then we'll also save this file, save a copy. What we could have put was maybe a little campfire here, but file, save a copy. I don't want to warm it up any more than it is. For your stream in Chris L. Cox's Discord, other people streaming along with a photo of the toast that made my smoked nectar sound up. Yeah, toast does have a tendency to do that. Yes, it does. Okay, save a copy. And we go to JPEG. Oh, we're going to leave this as a PNG. I always upload my to the gallery. I upload PNG stuff. Okay. Cancel. We're going to go File, Save a Copy, Desktop. And we'll go Edit, Edit, and all right, close this. Here it is. And go to Daz, forums. Oh, I didn't check the store last night. oh, not the forums, the gallery. All right, Cowboy Ranger. We go to here, gallery. And we go to desktop. And we bring this over here like this. Yeah, we need to see more than your legs. Okay, crop that. Midday break from wrangling cattle. Okay, we're going to go categories. And we're going to call this we'll go fantasy and nature, environment, and animal. No, let's see. All right, I think we already have realistic, right? Okay, that leaves it. That gave us 4 of them. Tags, cowboy, and desert, and pebbles, wheat, and I guess that's enough. Okay, we'll put in ultra. All right, even though we did use an ultra scenery 1 biome, and but we used ultra scenery. This is traditional, and this is going to be on fantasy and fiction. We'll go with that. And we're ready to post. Midday break from wrangling cattle. Midday, yeah, break, I guess. Save. Publish. Yeah, see, I'm still kind of, you know, he's dressed so like in a tank top. You don't have a campfire when you're in a tank top. So there's my gallery there, people. So let's see. Let's see if it showed up. Newest. There's our cowboy. Yeah. So, yeah. I can't think of that word. Oh, this is nice. This is really nice. This is done beautifully. I tend to think this needs a little bit of filter work because it's so sharp that a little bit of that glow filter would do something for this. But I'm not here to criticize. It looks like Affinity Photo, they did do some post work in Affinity Photo. They probably it made it less yellow and made it kind of more greenish and gave it more intensity to the color. So a color filter, but they didn't go all out with filters. Yeah, that's beautiful. This beautiful little path here. And the grass came out just right. It came out in just the right places. They added these rocks by hand, I bet. Yeah, they did a very nice job. I bet they added some of these trees by hand too. It's not completely ultra scenery. They did some. And Green Valley is this this back. They've done something funky with that. Their backdrop. Maybe they rendered this with no background and added this later. I'm not sure. But this is beautiful. This is really, really nice. They're going to get a like from me. That's very, very nice. So, yep, that's what we've got here. So don't all rush to the gallery and like my art. Hint, hint. So, yeah, he's just, you know, I thought of giving him a piece of grass in his mouth, but I'm not sure I could like do the expression he needs. So, yeah, this is what we got here. Midday break from wrangling cattle. Yeah. I think that came out pretty good. It did. So, all right. I guess that's going to do it for me today. Thank you for watching, people. I will see you in the next Ez3DTv tutorial. And we are going to play our splash screen, and then I will be back to say goodbye. Hello, hello, hello. I am back. It is me. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next Ez3DTv tutorial. And watch the beginning of this video if you haven't seen it, because there's some really cool stuff at the beginning that I talk about, and we talk about this. This is a M.2. This one right here is actually 2 terabytes. And this would fit a lot of your library right on this thing. See, how much is the 2 terabyte M.2? let's go back here to, oh, we've got to put that in here. That's 22 terabyte. I got to type it over here. M.2. And 95 bucks. So Art, I probably believe that 22 terabyte M.2 would be about $40,000. And now this, so this Art, your library must be over 2 terabytes. I assume that you would need a 4 terabyte M.2. But these M.2s are super fast. This is why I can go here, new. I already saved the scene, I'm quite sure. I hope I did. Well, I mean, I hope I saved it recently. Clearing the scene. So yeah. Watch the beginning of this video. You'll learn a lot about setting up your DAZ, putting your DAZ content in the middle of something powerful, okay, that you can use. You need to put your DAZ content. If you're going to invest in a lot of content, you need some powerful hardware around that content. So we go back to smart content. We go here. Now I click on this. How long does it take for this to load 13,000 items? Okay, that's what this is doing right now. It's going through and reading a file that gives you all 13,000 items. And it's through smart content as well. So it means it's looking at metadata, not just the names of things. And now I can just scroll down through this. Look how quickly this scrolls. That is because of my M.2. Okay? And so you can just scroll right down through it like this. See how quickly that scrolls through that? Now I can go to figures, and we find a figure in here. Let's find a figure. We'll put Flynn in. We'll use the HD Flynn. How long does it take? 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, okay, 14, 15, okay, 15 seconds it took for Flynn to load in. And give him some pants. And that's what we have here, is Flynn in the scene for in 15 seconds. Okay, that is what your M.2 drive does. These things, they speed up. Yes, you have to make sure it's a 5 or a 4 or 4 that your M.2 drives, unless your motherboard can handle a 5, and the 5s are way, way overpriced right now. So like a 5, we have materials without the browse. This is a little bit heavy on the veins. So it looks like he has a disease or something. Yeah, generation 4 and 5. That's it. Now we go in here, and when we look at these, so I would recommend not buying generation 5 unless if your motherboard has generation 5 capabilities. But the thing is that a generation 5 M.2, because I need 8 terabytes. My Daz library is bigger than 4 terabytes. So if yours is less than 4, then buy a 4 terabyte M.2. Make sure you plug it into the right slot. It's got to be the slot that connects to your CPU. And now we have, let's see, 8 terabyte. This is what I just bought. 8 terabyte. And this was the one I bought right here. $658. With tax, it was $700. I think I said $800, but it was $700. And this one comes with a sheath to keep it cool. And even though it says PlayStation, it works with a PC. And the only thing that I was kind of upset about was they don't even include a screw with it, okay? That, you know, that to screw it in. And this was a little bit wide. I had to go around looking. The screws that go in here are like microscopic. Yeah, so and look at this, 7,000 megabits per second. So that's what we're running right now. That's what this is right here. This is our, where is it? Where did I put that thing? See this? This is the M.2 right here. And this is 7.2 terabytes. So they took some of the terabytes away in order to, I guess, mount it or whatever. So yeah, they took over a half a terabyte away. I don't know why these things need to take so darn much, but okay. But it's so ended up with, so I have 3 terabytes left. So on here, you wanna, I also put other things like my effects, certain effects that I use, my ozone, my native instrument stuff. I don't know why that's empty, but my ozone should be on here. I'm not sure why that's empty. Properties. That is not supposed to be empty. Okay. So I must have moved it to a different drive than I thought I did. So yeah, so this is my Daz library here. Anything you need to run fast, okay, you put on this. And like I said, you put this, so not all of your M.2 drives plug to your CPU. So you want to make sure that you put it on the drive that plugs to your CPU and not the one that plugs to your chipset, okay? Or else you will end up losing your speed benefit. So, yeah. So this is it. Now this is an 8 terabyte. Let's go with the 4 terabyte. And these are a couple $100. I spent $400 for mine. So these are down now to a couple of $100. So this one I paid at least $300 for. This one was kind of like a bargain one. This team one. So yeah, look at this. This is an 8 terabyte for $545. I bought the one with the shield on it. So yeah, and this would be fine. But let's see, what's the speed of this? This is Gen 4, 72,000. So yeah, I could have saved a couple $100 if I'd bought this one. But this one doesn't, it does look like it has some kind of heat thing on it, but it doesn't have the kind of heat thing. But you have to also make sure that the heat thing will, that your graphics card will go over top of it without. So this one has a pretty heavy duty heat sink. So yeah, and it's Western Digital as well. And it's more expensive. I didn't buy, there's a $900 one that's 8 terabytes. They're all about the same speed. Okay, now this up to 77,200. Yeah, mine's running at about 6,800 or something speed. The more you put on the drive, the more it slows down. And so like with what I have right now on this, because I have that much left, there's no slowdown at all. As you get slower to filling that up, yeah, this is going to keep me very busy. So but when you get up to like 80 and 90%, that can slow down this drive quite a bit. So, but it gives me, it's 3 terabytes free, so it gives me probably another 1 or 2 terabytes before it starts to slow down. So I have 3 terabytes left, so I can buy more Daz stuff now. And yep, so that's it. This is how you do it, people. You get yourself a full tower. Don't get yourself a mini tower. Get yourself a full tower. They're like huge. They are like 2.5 feet tall. All right. Yep. Ovaltine. Yeah. So that's what they are. They're very tall towers. You get those towers and you fill that with whatever you need. I've been using the same tower for years and years because I just upgrade my motherboard, upgrade the chip, put it back into the same full tower. So, yep, that's how. And a full tower, you shouldn't have to pay more than $50 for a full tower. Yep. So there it is. All right. Thanks again for watching. We'll load one more figure in here before we're done here. One more figure into the scene. Let's see what we got here. Let's find Thomas. All right, we'll bring Thomas in. How long is he going to take? He's got very high quality skin. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. There it is. Thomas, with beard. So that's why he took a little bit longer. He does have a beard too, but the beard shouldn't take that much longer, but it could add a couple more seconds to it. So yeah, we got Thomas here. and when you hook that M.2 to your CPU, it will speed up your viewport as well. Yep, it will. So there we go. Thanks for watching, people. I will see you in the next Ez3DTv tutorial. I am RexRed saying so long for now. Thanks for watching, and I will be back soon with more awesome Daz3D content, Daz Studio content. And I hope you have learned something. I hope it was enjoyable and fun. Take care. We had Art in here. We have other people watching as well. We've had, let's see, we've had T in here. And Leo DeGrantz. Welcome, Leo, as well. And we had Tasteful Thickness. So yes, thank you, people, for watching, for hanging out. I hope I didn't miss Art. It's always a pleasure having you here. It is. Take care, people. I will see you again soon. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go make some food and have some Ovaltine. Have fun. Take care. I will see you again soon. All right. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.